In a small, humble town in the Philippines, there was a family whose heart was bound together by love and shared sacrifices. The father worked as a farmer, while the mother took care of the children in the house. Though they had little, they were happy because they had each other. But there was always one thing that made them feel like they were connected to the outside world: the Balikbayan Box. Every year, without fail, their uncle, who had moved to the United States many years ago, would send a Balikbayan Box. The family eagerly awaited this box, which would arrive at the end of the year. The kids would run to the doorstep the moment they heard the sound of the delivery truck, their eyes wide with excitement. They didn't care about the clothes or the toys, they were excited because it meant their uncle had thought of them. For their parents, the Balikbayan Box was a reminder of the sacrifices they made for a better future, and a symbol that even though their loved one was far away, the family bond remained strong. Every Balikbayan Box was special. Inside, they would find shirts, shoes, canned goods, chocolates, and even things they had never seen before, things that felt so luxurious in their simple home. The parents would smile as they saw the kids' faces light up. It was the small pleasures that made everything feel worth it, the occasional new set of clothes, the little things that their uncle sent to show he cared. But as the years went by, the boxes began to come less frequently. The letters from their uncle became shorter and fewer, and the family started to notice a shift. The father had passed on more responsibility to the kids as they grew older, the oldest daughter starting to take over the household chores while the younger ones helped with the farm. They had all learned to work harder, hoping that one day they would be able to join their uncle in the US for a better life. But each year, the promise of his visits became a distant hope. Then, one year, the family waited as usual, excited for the arrival of the Balikbayan Box. They were sure that it would come in time for Christmas. The children, now older but still hopeful, eagerly cleaned the house, waiting for the box to arrive. The parents tried to hide their anxiety, but deep inside, they feared that this might be the year they wouldn't receive the familiar package. When the delivery truck finally arrived, the family rushed outside, expecting the usual excitement. But this time, there was no box. Instead, there was only a letter from their uncle. The letter was handwritten, and as the father read it aloud, his voice trembled. Their uncle explained that he had decided to settle down in the US, start a family of his own, and no longer send the Balikbayan boxes. This, he said, would be the last one. The letter wasn't long, but it was enough to leave a deep, lingering sadness in the hearts of those who heard it. For the parents, it was a harsh realization that the dream of a better future, the dream of reuniting as a complete family, was slipping away. The Balikbayan Box had been a symbol of their shared struggles, of the hope that they were working towards something bigger. It wasn't just about the material things inside the box, but the connection it represented. Each package sent was a reminder of love from far away, a token of encouragement that no matter how difficult things were, they were in this together. The children, who had grown up waiting for those boxes, didn't know how to react. It was as if their childhood had been defined by the Balikbayan Box, those exciting, magical moments when the world beyond their small village seemed so much closer. The toys, the clothes, the chocolates, those were the little treasures they had always hoped for. But what hurt the most was knowing that their uncle's love, though still there, would no longer come wrapped in a box. They had grown up, and so had their uncle. The letters, the phone calls, and even the occasional video chat would never feel the same as the tangible presence of the boxes and their uncle's visits. The father sighed as he folded the letter. He looked at his wife, and they exchanged a quiet glance. They had spent years trying to build a future for their children, sacrificing so much, and now, the world felt just a little farther away. But as they watched their children, who were now old enough to understand, the parents found some comfort in the fact that the love they had shared as a family would never fade. It had never been about the material things, it had always been about the bond between them. The kids, though disappointed, understood. They began to help their parents even more, learning to become more independent and finding their own way to express love. They weren't going to wait for a Balikbayan Box to feel connected to their family. Instead, they would cherish the memories, the stories, and the love that was always there, even in the absence of a package from afar. Years passed, and though they never received another Balikbayan box, the memory of the last one stayed with them. It was bittersweet, but it was also beautiful. They learned that sometimes, the true treasures in life aren't wrapped in cardboard boxes or shipped from distant lands, they're the moments spent with family, the sacrifices made, and the love that endures, no matter how far apart you are.